Peace, and good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? It's your boy Sincere Seven coming to you live and direct from the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit, the Florida edition. So, um, this morning, I thought I would go ahead and do what I've been saying I was going to do. For those of y'all who know, I've been providing people in the community with cacao. I order mine straight from the source. Um, so a lot of people been enjoying the cacao. They've been liking it. And then I've had some people tell me, my cacao don't be tasting like your cacao be tasting, right? And so people have asked me, what is my recipe? And so I said that today I was going to just take a minute and go ahead and get my recipe out there for y'all to follow. So that, you know what I'm saying, y'all could, for those who have been ordering cacao, for some who already have it, however it might be, that you can create your morning cacao the way I create mine. For the people, you know, sometimes people come over to the Psychonaut Academy in Detroit and we'll have tea or we'll have coffee or we'll have cacao. So when I make these things and people are like, oh yeah, I like that, I want to add that onto my morning regimen and I might supply it to you and then you make it and it's like, wait, no, that's not what it tasted like. And I get it. So I'm going to go ahead today and take, not too long. This doesn't take long. Let me just let y'all know. I don't know, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 to create your own cacao for you to enjoy in the privacy of your own home. So let me, before I go into that, let me explain. When we do cacao ceremony, this is different than the cacao we make for our morning daily rituals. When we do things ceremonially, they tend to be a bit different. Some of the ingredients are different. Some of the things that we add on and that we utilize is different. So this is basically what I would call daily ritual cacao, not ceremonial cacao. I'll probably do a video on that one day, or just, when we do ceremonies, I kind of explain what is what and how and why. But this morning, that's not what we're doing. This morning, we are doing, again, ritualistic cacao. So what are rituals? Rituals are something that you do at certain points in time repeatedly for whatever reason, right? So when I'm talking about ritualistic cacao, I'm saying that getting up in the morning, making a cup of coffee every day, that is a ritual. Getting ready to go to bed and smoking you a joint with onerogens in it every night is a ritual. Going to church every Sunday is a ritual. Taking a shower every morning is a ritual. So ceremonies are different than rituals. This is the cacao that we create for rituals. So for those of y'all who drink coffee and you're looking for a better way to get that caffeine, get that energy, or just a different morning drink, this is what I would advise to y'all. So cacao, what is it? Cacao is the seeds that come from a fruit. Okay, there's a cacao pod down here in Florida. You can buy them in the stores. It's almost football shaped. It's about like that, and it's a brown. It looks like a football almost, right? Rounded off from the edges, and when you crack it open, it's got the white fruit inside. People say that fruit tastes like a mixture between banana and guava. No, not guava. What's that other one? Soursop, something like that. Me personally, honestly, I've never eaten the fruit. I've never eaten the fruit. I just use the cacao. So when you open it up, the fruit's on the inside. When you eat the fruit, it leaves these little seeds or pods. And so what you do is you let those ferment, and then after they fermented, you take them and you roast them. So you can do them in the oven. You can do them in air popcorn poppers, right? There's even those popcorn poppers that have the stick that go around to stir the seeds, and the plate be hot until they get hot enough and they pop. I use that too. But anything to heat them up until the inside of them pops and the shell cracks. When you take the shell off, it leaves the cacao beans, and then you crush those up into what they call cacao nibs. So some people further process those nibs into a powder, and then you can even continue to process for mortar and pestle them until the fat starts to come out of those, and you can have cacao chunks. So I do have cacao in all different forms. I got the raw, I got the seeds, I got the nibs, I got the powder. I even have the melted down chunks of them. So it comes in many different ways depending on how you get it. And as you see, cacao powder is packed with flavonoids, which have been shown to help lower blood pressure, improve your blood flow, and your blood flow to your brain and your heart. It also helps prevent blood clots. Okay. Also, the antioxidants in cacao may affect how your body responds to insulin, which could lower your chances of diabetes. Okay. So the one of the known chemicals in it is the theobromine, and this can improve your cognitive function, enhance your performance, boost your mood, and promote overall cardiovascular health. Cacao is the original chocolate. Cacao is actually chocolate. What we know in America as chocolate is some processed, added sugar, added bullshit to create what we know as chocolate. Okay. Now, when we talk about cacao, one of the people ask me, is it psychoactive? Slightly, right? Like it can. I don't refer to it as that. I refer to it as a heart opener. Okay, it's a heart opener. It actually helps with vasodilation. It opens your heart literally, and it makes you feel compassionate. It makes you feel loving. It makes you feel loved. It is a beautiful thing, and this is why Valentine's Day, which is coming up, is always associated with chocolate. It's not really. It's associated with cacao, the original chocolate. So today we're gonna go ahead and make some of the original hot chocolate. Now, in some of the indigenous lands, the cacao was mixed with the sacred herb or the sacred fungi, excuse me, the mushrooms. And this would combine and create a lovely feeling, right? This is the heart opening. This is the conscience opening. This is both of them combined, connected as one. And this is one of my favorite morning time drinks. So we're going to go ahead and make some cacao. All right. So let's go ahead and get to it. Now, what all are you going to need for this? You need a blender or a magic bullet or something like that to blend it up. For me, I like mine to be creamy and frothy, right? So I don't like mine chunky, so I do put it in the blender, and that also adds to the frothiness of it. So you would want one of those, magic bullet or something. Also a scale to do you right, because you want to measure out how much cacao. Now, a ceremonial dose of cacao is approximately 25 to 30 grams of cacao. I usually in my own do 50, 55.55. That's heavy, okay? For a morning cacao, you can do anywhere from 10, 15, 20 grams of cacao in your drink. You're gonna want, your mug that you're gonna drink your cacao out of. Oh, that's not good. That look dirty. Let me grab me another mug. Of course, you're gonna need your cacao. So right now I'm using the grounded, powdered type of looking chunky cacao. So we're doing cacao and microdosing. So of course, you're gonna want to get those microdoses on deck. If you already have yours powdered up, that'll work too. Cinnamon and ginger, two of my favorite ingredients. Y'all know who visit the pad. Y'all know I put that shit on everything. So some cinnamon and ginger, some Himalayan pink sea salt, a couple of little nutrients and things. Pure vanilla extract. Vanilla is a great partner with chocolate. They both complement each other. You want some honey or agave. For those of y'all who don't use honey, I love honey. The bees are the messengers of God, so I would not. but that's for sweetening it up. Cacao in its own is a bit bitter. So if you want that chocolate flavor, or excuse me, that chocolate like hot chocolate, it's got a bit of a sweetness to it, right? So um you want oh, okay, I got some comments coming in. Microdosing, shut up. Oh, okay. So these people over here trying to advertise or whatever. So we not gonna pay attention to that. So, and for me, I use coconut milk and coconut water. Coconut milk and coconut water. It adds a creaminess and an actual flavor that you probably not gonna get if you use water. No, not probably. You're not gonna get if you use water, but you can use water. Let me just be clear. But again, I like mine a little bit frothy, so I like to use coconut milk. So first thing that I do is weigh out my cacao. All right. Now this is where I want to show y'all something. So I can take my cup from this, put it on a scale, turn it on, zero it out. Now, like I said, I'm a bit of a heavy user. So me, myself, I'm going to use about 50 grams of cacao. You probably want to start off with about 20. Some people, it takes a little bit of getting used to for the cacao. Some people I've heard tell me that it upsets their stomach, and I was surprised to know that. I'm not sure why. So start out with a lower dose. Make sure that it complements you well before going up in higher numbers like I do. So there we go. We got 50 grams, and I'm gonna throw that off into the pot, and I'm gonna put that on low. I'm gonna put that on approximately 3. All right. Shake it up a little bit. I want it all to be flat. I'm gonna show you a little something. Put that on 4 actually. Now I use half coconut water and half coconut milk, 50-50. So the first thing that I do is I pour that in my actual mug. Why? So I'll know how much to measure out, right? So if your mug is 12 ounces, then you can measure out 6 ounces of coconut milk, 6 ounces of coconut water. Y'all get the point. So I'm doing this while my cacao is warming up. I'm getting my milk ready, right? Now, of course, don't fill it to the very top because we also got the cacao that got to mix with it, right? So we got to leave a little space in the mug because if we fill it all the way up and then do it, then once we go to pour it back into the mug, it's going to be too much and it's going to be overfilling. So we got our liquid ready, our milk, and we have our cacao sitting over here warming up. Now you can't see it yet, but the cacao is actually melting, okay? That's why I got the camera on there so y'all can see that. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my little trace minerals with a little shot of Himalayan pink sea salt. Just one little grind. This is not for flavor, okay? Automatically, early, I'm gonna add in my ginger. And my cinnamon. Now, you can go as light or heavy on these. I go a bit heavy because I love them. Both of them are anti-anxiety. I love cacao and ginger. I put that on my tea, my coffee, my cereal, my girlfriends. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in that little shot of pure vanilla extract. Again, that vanilla and chocolate combination is a beautiful thing. All right. So now that I've done that, now you might be able to start seeing this cacao. Let me go ahead and show y'all a little bit closer. Y'all see that? So I was melting, right? Look at that as I stir that. Y'all see how it's melting? It's chocolate, y'all. I ain't lying to y'all. It's chocolate. I wouldn't lie to y'all. So me, I like to go ahead and get that melted down all the way. Remember, I got this on low heat. I don't have it on a high heat because I don't want to cook it. I don't want to heat it up to where it's like starting to burn or singe or none of that. It's a real low heat, just enough to start that melting process because it's filled with so much fat, healthy fats in it. So we trying to get those to come out. That's why I said if you put this in the mortar and pestle and you just get to just grinding it with the pestle, it'll actually start allowing those fats to come out. All right, so now that's all pretty much melted. All those chunks are gone. Now what do? Go ahead and pour that milk in there. Yeah. Bang, just like that. Now I used to do it slow. I used to stir the chocolate and then slowly add the milk and let it heat up. But I found that it doesn't really do any better that way than just pouring it in. So I just pour it in and then I go up on my fire a little bit. So now I'm gonna turn it up to about 5, Now I want y'all to watch this. Y'all see how you can see the little chunks or whatnot of the cacao in there floating around. But as I start to stir it, now I'm not stirring it. What I'm doing is I'm running the spoon across the bottom of the pot. Because remember, the cacao is melted. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of running it across the bottom of the pot, collecting it up, so it's mixing it into the milk mixture. Now, y'all can see the milk is slowly starting to change colors to what? Looking like chocolate milk. Because it is. Now, as I'm doing this, it's also warming up the milk. Okay? So what I'm going to do now, while I got this cacao warming up, the milk warming up, I'm going to put the spoon there and leave that there. And I'm going to come over here and grab these microdoses, and I'm going to open them up. I'm going to actually open the capsules up and empty them into the blender cup. All right? So let's get those out. Now, me personally, I'm going to do 2. These are about 210 milligrams each. So 2 of them is going to equal 420 milligrams. And I'm going to put that right there in the cup like that. I don't add this to the pot in the mix because I don't want the heat to disturb or to degrade the power of the mushroom. Now, the actual fire, the pot's not that high, so the probability of that happening is low. So if you want, you can actually mix this in right into the pot. But I choose not to because I already know I'm going to blend it anyway, right? So I just go ahead and put it right into the cup that we're going to do our blending in. And the little capsules, you just throw them away. Just throw them away. Okay, got to get that real good. Now that I got that in there, I'm also going to add my honey into the cup. Why? I don't want to put my honey into the pot. I don't want to heat my honey up. I just wanted to sweeten the cacao. Here we go. Now, keep in mind that the honey is going to add a little volume to the overall amount. So same thing, when you're measuring out that milk in the cup, don't fill it all the way to the top because the cacao is going to be added in. The honey is going to be added in. That's going to add some volume. So you want to be cautious with that. So I'm going to come back over here. Now it's getting warm now. and it's starting to incorporate the cacao into the mix. I can see a little bit of steam coming up off that pot, letting me know that that's warming up. So what I do is I like to get it, first of all, I like to, see that right there? Yeah, see? So I want that to be blended in. So that's why I'm running that spoon across the bottom of the pot. I can still feel some of the cacao at the bottom of the pot, and I want to incorporate that good into that milk mixture, you know. So you want to bring it to about the temperature that you would have your tea or coffee at, you know. You want it to be nice and hot. Not boiling, but if you see it start to simmer, that's usually about where you want it. See how it's starting at, and it's just a little bit of cacao in there. That's what I'm looking for. Because what I'm trying to do is really incorporate it into the milk. I want this to be a warm chocolate milk. Remember, this is the original hot chocolate, y'all. This is the original hot chocolate. So if you've ever been cold and it's winter time and it's snowing and you want some hot cocoa, yeah, they call it cocoa because they can't call it cacao because they would be lying, right? So this is hot cacao. Forget cocoa. Forget cocoa, baby. Now this is heating up pretty fast. It's to a nice warm temperature, especially while I'm stirring that. That helps to heat it up, moving it all around and whatnot, as opposed to just letting it sit. Now I start to stir with the spoon, slightly scraping the bottom of the pot. So if there is a little bit of cacao left melting on the pot, I'm just lightly, with the spoon, lightly scraping the bottom to get that incorporated into this hot chocolate milk mix. And I keep looking. Every time I see a little bit of cacao on the spoon, it lets me go back in. Now this is already looking very creamy, very good. I could just right out the pot, but keep in mind, the honey's in the cup, okay? So it's a little bit bitter without a sweetener. Now, there are people that I've had that actually tell me, don't put the honey in mine, don't put the agave. They drink it like it is. So if you're one of those people that don't need your things to be, like if you drink black coffee, this would be good. You don't have to add sweetener to it. Me, I like that little bit of sweetener. I like it to taste like hot chocolate. Okay, yes. See, no cacao is on the spoon now. I'm scraping, there's no melted chocolate anywhere. So now we know that it's pretty good incorporated into this mix, right? So now I'm going to stop stirring and I'm going to let it sit for a second. Why? So I can look in the pot. You can see all the cinnamon and ginger. This looks beautiful, y'all. Now, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for that slight simmer where you can see the heat trying to escape. It's coming up and it's bubbling just a little bit. Remember, I just want just a slight simmer. I don't want to boil. And they say how the old folks used to say, never watch a pot boil or some shit like that. Well, you know, when you're doing this, then I would say that is what you're looking for. But not to boil, just that slight simmer. For me, that lets me know it's the temperature that I wanted. I want to be able to sip it. If I can just gulp this shit down, it's not hot enough for me. But I don't want it piping hot. Like if it touches my tongue or my lip, it's burning. No. Just that slight simmer. And when it gets there, you'll start to see, there we go. You'll start to see it looks like the cinnamon and ginger is separating for whatever reason. Like something's coming from the bottom and pushing those out. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but I can see right now that the cinnamon and ginger is starting to move towards the edges of the pot. For whatever reason, when I look in the center of the pot, it looks like it's doing this. All right? Let me get okay. And now I see a couple of little bubbles starting to come up. They're very small. If you don't look, you won't see them. But yeah, see? It's separating and it's starting to get that simmer. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. Y'all see that? There you go. You see them? See the bubbles? And there it is. That's that simmer. Bang. See it? Yeah. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to stir it one more time. Now, this is where I take the whole mix and pour it over the cup that we have prepared with our microdose and our honey. And I'm going to pour that right into there. I pour half of it. Okay? Watch how I do this, y'all. I know y'all going to be like, hold on, he's doing a whole lot. I know. Watch this. I pour half of it, put the top on. Because this is hot, be careful about when you're mixing up hot liquid. Throw it in the blender. Turn this off. Open that slowly. And I pour this into the cup. And then I pour the other half in here. Now, I'm going to put the top on this. And the part that I put in the cup, I pour it back in the pot. And put it back on that eye. Like that. And I'm going to come over here. Oh, yeah, that's good. And I'm going to put that on. And then that. Now, why am I doing this? There's two things that I'm doing. One, like I said, the cacao has a grittiness to it. Even after it's melted down, there's still a certain grittiness to it. So I'm getting rid of that grittiness. And two, I'm adding that froth, that frothiness, that thick type of, I don't know, that's what we refer to it as, is froth. And now I put that back in there. And I stir it up a little bit more. Why? Because when I was pouring it out, the thickness of the cacao was still in the pot. So it was a lot of cacao that was left in the pot. Now you see that? You see how creamy that looks, y'all? Look at that. Look at that. Creamy and velvety. It even sounds creamy. That sounds creamy. I don't know if y'all know what creamy sound like. And now I pour that into my cup or mug that I have prepared. Now keep in mind, my honey's in there, my microdose is in there, everything's in there. Turn the oven off. And there you have it. I'm ready to sip my morning cacao and microdose. The beauty about this is a beautiful way to microdose, because instead of popping the capsules, and when they kick in, it's the microdoses. When you just take them in the capsules, when they kick in, it's like, ooh, there you go. Okay, I feel it. But when you're sipping your cacao, you're drinking this over 15 to 30 minutes. I take about 30, sometimes 45 minutes to drink mine. So the microdose is also slowly but surely kicking in. So instead of a woo, there we go, it's just before you know it, you just start feeling good and your mind is going and your heart is opening up. And it's just like all of the beautiful magical properties slowly are incorporated into your consciousness, into your feelings, into your emotions. And it just feels so much better like that. So any questions, comments, concerns? That's the recipe for the morning cacao. Let me see how this tastes. Hold on a minute. Let me talk to you. Ooh, hot, creamy, chocolatey, slightly sweet, that cinnamon and ginger, and that vanilla. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And oh my goodness, I'm about to take a walk. around the lake and drink my morning cacao and enjoy this. And if you are interested in some cacao, hit me up. I will be sending shipments out today. I got some people already ordered. That's what made me go and hop on and do the videos. It's like, well, once I get here, I need to know how to make it. I'm like, I'll do a video for you. So if anybody's interested, you're trying to get something new, more healthy for your morning regimen, that coffee just had you crashing or is doing too much, maybe that caffeine got you jittery. This has caffeine in it as well. 1 cup of cacao is about a half of the amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee. But the difference is it doesn't give you the jitteriness, okay? There's no crash afterward or none of that. There's so many benefits to this, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. It's a beautiful drink. If you have not experienced it, I invite you to go ahead and reach out to me. I'm doing 75 grams for like $20, I think, something like that. So it's not, something that's going to hit you in your pockets real heavy. And if you want to add in some little, Biscoff cookies or something for your youth, you want to sit up and do the hot cocoa with your kids, watch a movie and all of that, this is what you want. Forget that hot cocoa shit. You want some cacao, baby. So, hey, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you need some of this, holla at me. If you need anything else that we deal with, holla at me. I love y'all, and tell somebody you love them in a language they can understand it in. Peace.